Now, there are fresh developments that have unfolded in an ongoing corruption case in Europe that concerns the top lawmakers of the European Parliament itself. Now, earlier in the day, the authorities in Belgium and Portugal raided about 21 different locations to investigate into the alleged links with China's tech giant Huawei. The authorities have said that these locations are connected to the lobbyists who were involved with Huawei. The Chinese company is under the scanner for allegedly bribing members of the European Parliament. The police have arrested about 100 individuals for further questioning, and top leadership, however, has denied to comment on the matter.
If you could confirm whether there have been no contact at all between the suspects and the Commission.
So we have strictly no comment to make on this investigation.
So EU leaders are on the radar for favouring Huawei's commercial interests. Investigators say that these lawmakers received lavish holidays abroad, expensive football game tickets and also gifts in return. The alleged kickbacks were concealed as conference expenses and were paid through various intermediaries. Officials are also looking at whether the activities involved money laundering. The case, of course, remember, came to light back in 2019. Crackdown on Huawei began 5 years ago when the American government added Huawei to a trade blacklist. Now, Washington barred the company from accessing US markets and using Google products, including Android devices. Now, Western intelligence has accused Huawei of carrying out espionage on behalf of the Chinese government, but the company continues to deny the claim. Now, European nations followed in the footsteps of the United States and began investigations of their own. The probe began shortly after Huawei upped its lobbying efforts on the continent to minimize the backlash from the American crackdown. Now, the company's PR blitz included quoting European Parliament members to support companies' commercial interests. All right, now to give us more perspective in this, we are joined in this broadcast by our correspondent Will Denslow, who is joining us live from Brussels. Will, this is a case that's been a political hot potato. There are raids that are being carried out. A number of these different European leaders are under the scanner. Give us a sense of, how crucial it is for these European leaders to, in fact, come clean on these efforts of lobbying by this Chinese tech giant, which has been blacklisted.
It's absolutely hugely significant and certainly sent a degree of shockwaves when this news began to trickle through after these raids in the early hours of Thursday morning here in Brussels, and as you mentioned, in Portugal as well. We've heard from the Belgian prosecutors who say that this is an ongoing investigation of active corruption, the alleged forging of documents and money laundering. They say that this is an investigation that started in 2021 and goes up to the present day and under the guise of commercial lobbying. You mentioned some of the accusations that have been charged, these alleged lavish gifts, holidays that you said, football matches in return for, as the prosecutors say it, private commercial interests in the context of political decisions. So these are certainly serious charges. According to reports, 15 or so former or current MEPs are tied up in this investigation. Now, while there was very little response from the European Commission, we have indeed heard from some officials at the European Parliament that this investigation centres around a Parliament spokesperson come out and saying that when requested, they always cooperate with the judicial the judicial proceedings. We've also heard from the Parliament's Vice President saying that these developments are deeply concerning. This, of course, comes as the Parliament is still dealing with the ramifications, the repercussions of the so-called Qatargate scandal that rocked Brussels in the past. That was an influence for corruption allegations, so certainly not the first time that such charges have been levelled here in Brussels, and certainly a firm response has been called on from many members of the European Parliament in response to this latest probe.
Indeed. Thank you very much indeed, Will Denslow, for joining us from Brussels and getting us all those updates then. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.